In this video, we're answering the question everyone is asking. Why do you need a buyer's agent? So let's find out why a buyer's agent is essential for buying a home. Make sure you stick around to the end of this video because the last tip is the most important. Did you know that some of the very best properties never make it to the open market? That's just one of many values a buyer's agent brings to the table. Now let's break that down for a minute. It's not just the case that an agent's withholding properties from the market. In many cases, the seller could have started talking to their friends and family member about getting ready to put the house on the market, and a buyer just appears suddenly before the house hits the market. Another reason could be the house could take a couple of weeks to get ready to be able to hit the market. They're trying to have some staging done, make some minor repairs. And that listing agent's job is when they know that property is about to hit the market, they're prospecting, trying to find viable buyers for a property. So sometimes if a property is taking a couple of weeks to actually hit the market, just through some conversations that are being had, a buyer could appear before the house hits the market, and it's lucrative for the seller to be able to take. If you are trying to hire a buyer's agent, you want that agent constantly talking to the colleagues. What do you have coming up? What's about to hit the market? Have that ear to the ground so that you're not having to wait for things to hit the market. Your buyer's agent is effectively working hard every day to find the home that meets your needs. Negotiating the best deal is an art form, and a skilled buyer's agent is your artist. So let's talk negotiations. Here's probably one of the biggest areas I see the most mistakes when it comes to agents effectively representing the buyers. You want to make sure that the agent you have working for you is a skilled buyer's agent, that a large portion of their business comes from working with buyers. You're going to want to make sure that when it comes time to negotiate, they ask you what you need to achieve out of the deal, and they don't start making assumptions for you. If I'm assuming that you want the lowest possible price, but in the reality, you need it to happen much quicker and you just care about these three items, if I focus just on price, I haven't helped you reach the goals that you're going for. You need to be in lockstep with your agent so that y'all are communicating well together and that agent knows how to get you what you want. When we think negotiations, a true buyer's agent is going to know that there's more than one negotiation. There can be a negotiation that comes down to the sales price on the purchase agreement. There's going to be another negotiation that happens during the inspection period. Heck, there could even be a negotiation that happens during the appraisal process. When you hire the right buyer's agent, that buyer's agent is going to know that they are going to walk you through every step of the negotiation process, and they're going to give recommendations to help you come up with your winning strategy. Here's just one small example of what an expert negotiator looks like for you. Most people look at the house's price per square foot, and they base their decisions on price per square foot. And many times when that appraisal comes back, most agents, they don't look at what the square footage is on the appraisal versus what was advertised. And when you're looking at average home selling price in the hundreds per square foot, and you're off 100 square feet from that appraisal, most people don't think they have the ability to go back and try to renegotiate. You work with me, we're going to look for every avenue to get you the very best deal. If that square footage comes up short on that appraisal, you can believe that we're going to start that next process of saying, hey, look, we offered X based on this size of the home. Home is not as big as you said it was. We need to reevaluate the price. The paperwork involved in buying a home can definitely be overwhelming, but having an expert buyer's agent on your side can make sure everything is in order and stays on track. So through the process, there's going to be a lot of documents your agent's going to have you to sign or actually review. You want to make sure that this buyer's agent that you've hired is walking you through these documents so that you understand clearly what you're signing. A great buyer's agent is not going to have to be prompted with that. They're going to put documents in front of you, explain what that document is and what it means to you and what's most important in that document so you can be well informed when you're signing all your documents. Making sure you understand the timelines and the dates in a contract is very, very important. I've seen cases where a buyer has forgotten or the agent forgot to turn in a document based on a date. And guess what? The contract was voidable at the seller's discretion at that point. And this buyer, they missed out on the house because they forgot to turn in one piece of paper. A great buyer's agent comes with a little black book of trusted real estate professionals that can help streamline your home purchase process. So in buying a home or just home ownership in general, there's a lot more involved than just the buyer's agent and a closing attorney and a lender. We have people like appraisers, home inspectors, home repair people that we have kind of in our tool bag to help us through the entire process. Now, in many cases, the appraisers are going to be chosen by the Lending Institute, but by me having very good conversations or in great working relationship with many of the appraisers, if there's a question that comes up, they feel very comfortable in calling me and asking the why question so that they can have a full circle look at what they're trying to evaluate. And to me, that's just an ultimate benefit to the consumer at that point when that professional is better educated. But we also have situations that pop up during the inspection that can look awful and you're like, oh my word, we're never going to be able to overcome this. But by knowing trusted professionals that specialize in that particular area, we can take what once was a big problem that most people say, well, this is not solvable. But by having the right professionals look at it, we can say, man, it's not that bad. We could use this as a negotiating term to get an even better deal and take care of it after it closes. So having that trusted group of people around me as part of my team definitely benefits my buyers. Knowing the ins and outs of a neighborhood can make a huge difference in your home buying decision. You know what they say in real estate, location, location, location. Well, that is true, but it's a little bit more than just location. It's about the details every neighborhood brings and its own uniqueness within that neighborhood. By us taking a detailed view of what your needs and wants are, I can make some recommendations on neighborhoods that would actually fit what you're describing. So within a neighborhood, there's a lot of different variables. What school, what is proximity to your work, proximity to shopping. All of these are the different things that we need to take a look at when we're trying to select the best neighborhood for you. You want to know one of the best secrets of finding the best neighborhood to fit your needs? Drive through it on a Saturday, then drive through it again on a Wednesday evening. Look at what life is like in that neighborhood during those 2 different days, and that'll give you a good idea of how that neighborhood could fit your day-to-day life. Buying a home can be an emotional roller coaster, but a buyer's agent is there to keep you steady through the process. While we want to keep the process of buying a home a fun experience for you, I'm not naive to the fact that it can be very emotional and very stressful for some people. And that's where a good buyer's agent is going to come in. Number one, we're going to keep you well informed throughout that process. There's going to be a lot of times where there is uncertainty, but where you rely on your buyer's agent is for that confidence of, is this normal? Are things flowing the way it should be flowing? Great communication can lower the stress, but having a great buyer's agent by your side is going to make that process so much smoother. Now, we never want to see rocky things happen. I tell my clients all the time, it's not okay for you to worry until I tell you it's time to worry. I know that that's a lot sometimes to be able to ask, but this is what I do. I want to guide you through that process as stress-free as I possibly can. At the same time, I understand that there are going to be some levels of stress, but rest assured, a great buyer's agent is going to hold your hand and walk you through the entire process and keep you well informed. So thanks for joining me today. These are just a few of the values that a buyer's agent will bring to the table. Now look, I understand that in the grand scheme of things, you may say, well, Brian, it would be so much cheaper for me if I just went directly to the seller or to the listing agent. And I'm here to tell you, these are seriously just a few of the many values a buyer's agent brings to the table. The last thing that we want is to see you end up spending way more money on what you should have or end up on an emotional roller coaster that you can't come back from. Hiring the right buyer's agent is a difference maker when it comes to you getting the best deal on a home. For a little more info on this related topic, check out a red flags video.